That's when I told Stephanie, so am I, but what are your glasses?
Look, I'm going to say this one time and one time only. Don't breathe in my house. I don't allow dogs to breathe in my vicinity. All right? Oh, you breathing? You still breathing in our... Good, huh? Good. See, you owe me. You owe me. You owe me. Because I know your favorite treat. I know what to give to you, and I deliver every time. Don't I? I think I do. I think I do. Hello, everyone. I'm John C. Rhymes here. That's a new word you will be hearing from me because of, although something tells me it's not going to matter anyway. But when you hear the word C rhymes, you know what that means, right? You know what it means. All right. So for my true diehard C rhymes fans, I'm taking a lighter approach in this video today to talk about something that doesn't deal with what we normally deal with, yet I am still interested. I'm going to let you know what interests me about what we're going to talk about today. However, before we get into that, I want to let you all know that we're going to get into some gruesome territory in upcoming videos, as I think my next video will be on Lavoy Finicum, and the video following that will be on Zach and Addie in New Orleans, which is pretty graphic to say the least. So, Brooke Houts, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name right, is a pretty big YouTuber. I think she had about 370,000 subscribers last week. And her YouTube channel, she tried different genres of YouTube from, like everybody else. I think she tried makeup first, the typical stuff, lighthearted, big smiles, music in the background, the typical stuff people go to that draw people in as if they're perfect people who don't have a problem in the world and are always happy. That typical thing. And it kind of worked out a little bit for her in the beginning, but no success made her as large as when she got a pet dog, a Doberman Pinscher. So once she got this dog, she began making videos about her life with her Doberman, and good videos, I say, run-of-the-mill videos, a day in the life, doing a trick with my dog, teaching my dog how to sit, but it pretty much blew her up until last week. And on last week, she forgot to edit out this.
It doesn't faze you. Well, as you can tell, stop! We love you. We love you, or whatever. We love you. We love you.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. So for people who don't understand the beginning of my video, I was doing sarcasm. I got to put the sarcasm disclaimer out there because, we on the internet. You never know what could happen. So in this clip, you pretty much see a young puppy. I say young because it looks like it's about, it's less than a year old. So you see young puppy jumping up, happy, wants to play with her. She smacks the dog in the face. And then she proceeds to spit on the dog. And if you look at her, let's just go back and look at this again. If you look at the television, her reflection in the television, look at her mannerisms, it appears that she stops and kicks the dog. This is subjective, but let's look at it again. Okay, so I want to answer a couple things of what should happen from this and what is happening right now. As I stated earlier, I think she had like 370,000 subscribers, and right now she's sitting about 320,000. She lost about 50,000 subscribers and counting. It's sinking. The cops from LA have been called on her for animal cruelty. If you go read the comments on her videos, if you just go back for most recent comments, I'm quite sure that they're like 1 minute apart and people are going in on her. She has pretty much destroyed her social media presence. So I wanted to answer, does she deserve to get kicked off of YouTube? Does she deserve to go to jail? And what should happen from this in the future? So let's go back to, does she deserve to get kicked off of YouTube? Done. Let's look at what you miss in something that happens like this. At 1 million views of a video, I think this last video she got is at 2 million, but most of that is from the negativity as this has blown up. I mean, the story was on CNN from a YouTuber. But I mean, if I throw out a wild guesstimate, this girl's probably making $10,000 to $15,000 a month, man, on you just doing YouTube videos. That's not even including the other perks that come with it from sponsorships and Patreons and everything else. She's making great money, and all of this comes to a screeching halt from animal abuse. Does she deserve to get kicked off YouTube? I'm going to look at this like we should look at it. Employment. Did the actions deserve to make her lose a job? And I want to stop and segue right here. Perfect segue. Because I see people treat YouTubers as if they don't have a job. I read comments that says things such as, get a real job, or you talk about something being demonetized, get a real job. And it's funny to me because what it takes for me to do this video is several jobs. I am in lighting. I am in photography, videography, cinematography. I am directing. I am editing. So all of these people have these jobs. Why is it that a YouTuber don't have it? I mean, I'm looking at a whole lighting setup right now as I speak to you, and you do all of this by yourself. You have a W-2 tax form, and you have the opportunity where you can make good money. And if YouTubing is not a real job, quote unquote, what about, Rhett and Good Mythical Morning, shows like that? These are real shows with sets and designs. And what about people like Mr. Beast, who got to be raking in $1 million a year, or PewDiePie? These aren't real jobs. These are definitely real jobs, and they have definite real consequences when something goes wrong. So if I look at the infraction, should this person not be on YouTube anymore? And we live in a society of a cancel culture. You do one thing, you're gone to us, and people move on to the next story. It's almost like we're losing humanity in the world for each other, which is interesting. Because if I say stuff like this, people already start to tingle inside, and they're already, before they even hear me finish what I'm saying, thinking about her dog and what happened to her dog. And they assume you either have to be all the way to the left or all the way to the right. They don't want to see that you could be, like, your brain is more complex just to say, I don't believe this, I believe this. So what I believe is a little bit different if I go into the details. I believe when it comes to this situation, she should be able to make YouTube videos. It just depends on what kind of YouTube videos. I do not believe she should be able to make YouTube animal videos ever again. I don't think that she should ever make a video about a dog, because if you look at some of her videos, it's teaching you how to treat animals, yet you're spitting a loogie on your dog's face. And I look at it as, I wouldn't want to watch anybody that I don't feel comfortable promoting. For instance, I'll do a promotion right now for my lovely friend Bonnie, her two YouTube channels on her dogs, Monroe the Husky and Tonka the Malamute. Excellent channel, teaches you about dogs. So how about my friend Mr. 60 Formula himself? Great training video, very entertaining. I wouldn't feel comfortable promoting someone or telling you to watch someone that I know at one time they did this. And we're talking about the best case scenario, rehab, which I think she needs to go to anger management because there's something deep rooted inside of a person if you spit on a dog. You know, I just talked to a friend and it was like, you think the spitting is worse than the hitting? And it's not that. And I'm gonna break it down to you. Why the spitting bothers me more than the hitting. Look at it like this. So we talk about C rhymes on this channel, and when we talk about that, you know, people lose their lives, you know, lives, like going live, they lose their life. And when this happens, there are different ways. Someone could just, you know, asphyxiation, and then another way, someone could be asphyxiation with post-mortem really horrific things that happen to the body. And that's the one that makes you cringe. That is what's going to stick out when I do this Zach and Addie video. You're going to say, you're going to feel differently, not in the matter of what Zach did to Addie, but in how, just the details of what happened in that makes you think to see that someone is more disturbed. So I've seen people hit animals, and I don't agree that you should ever hit an animal and you should suffer the consequences from hitting an animal. But spitting is not a punishment to an animal in a dog's mind. If I were to spit on Miku right now, she would lick it because she doesn't understand that she's being punished. She has no idea that I'm punishing her when I spit on her because that's not what happens in the dog world. She's gonna look at that as that's my smell or anything. She's gonna be confused. She'll know my tone and the anger, but the spit itself. So when Brooke Houts spit on her dog, she was angry and doing a human punishment. You know, like if you're that angry with your dog, there's something deeply disturbed about you. I've never seen that. I tell you right now, I've never in my life seen a person or even heard of a person spitting on a dog, let alone their own dog. So that really threw me off, and that really let me know, like, if something is that deeply wrong with you, you do not need an animal. And something happened. Somebody left a comment on her video saying, I live in LA where you live. I will take the dog from you. You know, I don't want any money, any publicity. No one has to know about it. He was very nice when he left this message. What she didn't know that this was another huge popular YouTuber who has a big podcast, and he talked about this on his podcast.
So I tweeted at her, and it got a fucking lot of attention. 62,000 likes now. I said, I'm in LA because I saw she lives in LA, and I will literally buy your dog from you. Name any price. He really needs a new home. And I was 100% serious. Now, the crazy thing, I followed her so she could DM me. I said, yo, my DMs are open to you. Message me. I'm 100% serious. And she did DM me. Mm-hmm. She said, hello, would you be willing to talk for a moment? And I was like, wow, is this actually going to happen? And I said, hey, what's up? I'm 100% serious. If you give me your number, we can speak over the phone. And she never responded to me. So
I find it interesting that she replied back. She replied back in the midst of this drama. And my whole end result of all of this is, I think someone that can get that angry, you see it in her face and you see how she spit on the dog. I think all the money she was making and how everything has come crumbling down, I feel that she is very upset at this dog. She's not upset at her actions. She may feel like if I never got this dog, none of this would have happened. Instead of feeling like if I would have never been this upset or what's bothering me in my life. She's not going to put it back on her. She's probably really upset at that dog right now that her life is completely ruined. And that makes me worry for this animal. Now, as far as should she go to jail or any kind of legal punishment should come from this, that is very subjective of how you feel because um, if you do this to somebody, that's assault. That's assault. I mean, you touch somebody. You know, it's subjective to how strong you is. You know, the way I've seen uh, other people hit their dog in that kind of manner, which I don't agree with. But nothing happened to them. If you spit on a human being, that is assault. You are going to jail. They can press charges on you if you spit on a human. So I would assume the same thing is going to go for a dog. I don't know. I want to punish somebody so they won't do this again. I don't want to go to the depths of being excessive. To me, a girl that age, thoroughly embarrassed this much. The whole world has shunned her. She has lost her source of income. I don't even know what she's going to do next, which is that's what really is interesting to me about this whole entire situation. What do you do? Of course, she's going to make the video. She's sitting down looking at the camera. She's going to get people to help her out, mom, maybe even a lawyer, publicist. She's gonna have people to help her out. I know that. But after that video, what do you do? Do you, for that money, the hunger, the money coming into you, do you still put that dog on camera as if it's your best friend in the world? Do you shamelessly do that? Or do you move in a new direction? If she were to move in a direction to where she doesn't have the dog any longer, and we show her like a reality show like thing, going to anger management, trying to get better, figuring out the problems that's going on with her, I would be interested to watch that. I will watch it. I would. I watch it. I would want to see if it's genuine. Could I tell if it's genuine? I'd be interested in something like that. But what I'm not interested in is watching her continue this channel with her Doberman. So that's my video for this week. The FBI hoodie you saw me have on in the beginning of the video came from Washington, D.C. on a layover. However, this hoodie is mine and it's at my merch store. The link will be in the description along with many other items. Check that out. Support the channel since obviously YouTube doesn't. And I'll see you back in the next video in a couple of days on something more up my alley. Don't kill. Don't hit a dog. Don't spit on a dog. Love your pet as if it's your family member. And also make a sandwich, preferably using the same peanut butter I stuffed in her bone to make her sit right there. See, you don't have to hit animals. There's other ways around it. Once you know what your animal like, you get into that head, you give them some praise. You know what I'm saying? Let me get up out. Yeah. A screeching halt from animal abuse. I just want you to know that you did great, Miko. You did so great. And Daddy loves you. Daddy loves you all the time. You just gonna turn your back on me? Just gonna turn? You ain't got nothing to say to me, man. Oh, wow. What, we really doing this? We really doing this? You got nothing to say to Daddy? I thought you loved me. Or in your own language, love me, Miku. Oh, I call your name and to get your attention, huh? Well, I gotta call your name, huh? Okay. All right, we just gonna go back and making these videos. All right. Okay. Hey, it's your world. Your world. It's your world. Yeah. Just gonna jump on the table, huh?